minutes went a lot faster. And it's Dota time. Let's go with that. Of course, if you're just tuning in, my name is Halbert. I'm joined by Not a Hero. This is the Keystroke Cup, and we're watching DUC take on Ratau Lebone. I just become Italian, and you know what thing is, I am Italian.
But you are Italian.
Exactly. So there's, anyways, like close enough.
You have to embrace your inner
So-
Italiano.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw something out there.
Ratau
That is a +1 wisp, by the way, because Muffin Man has been spamming wisp for like the last 2 months. If I find him in a pub, wisp is the first hero we ban because it's annoying as hell, and he plays it actually really well. That is a +1
I love how you
wisp.
called Wisp. I love it.
It is
You're
a
just
wisp.
like me. Okay, what you know that? So I just
I-
want to ask a question. It's like what? Like I just think of all the .io websites. But let me ask you a question. So there's a character in this game whom can teleport to any position on the map that is not IO. What is that character's name?
Nature's Prophet.
Oh, so I was hoping you say Furion, because then you would, because you said
Oh.
Wisp. So yeah.
Oh,
was
no. Well, Furion, Nature's Prophet, same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Because this thing, I'm still old school, so I call a lot of heroes their old names, you know. So I try to be good with things like
you hitting the Lothar's edge and.
Okay, so no, so I admittedly I've kind of weaned myself off those things, but yeah.
Because Shadowblade makes much more sense. Come on. It just makes sense.
It does. There's another big one that changed. Like, was Daedalus called something else before?
Oh,
Bariza du Canyon. That's what it used to be called. Bariza. Yeah. So I miss. In fact, let's see how we can go. What do you say? Wanna cast old school? Let's see if we can use old items.
Ooh, a good old EG TI final winning combo there. AA and Earthshaker. I doubt it's a +3 Earthshaker though, because I think they open with 2 supports again.
But it's at least a better look, right? I think the problem is that DUC probably look at this and go, "Those are 2 support skin." But that would have been a fine opener. Normally, you know,
would have been a better opener.
But perhaps that's the trick. Perhaps that's the trick. Perhaps this ends up being like a 1 position ES, and no one saw that coming. You know, so who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe that's
good old Samel mid ES. That was a fun time.
There you go. Enchant your creeps away. Anyways, let's just go to the ban screen because we have been having a lot of fun, which is always the name of the game at the end of the day. But Alchemist, Odie, Ursa, and Juggernaut banned by DUC, and the responses being the Alchemist, the Death Prophet, Drow, and one more to come any second now. Is there anything? Oh, it's Anti-Mage.
So Ratau has definitely not done their homework. They clearly don't know Muffin Man is the IO player on Duck's team. Because they're still banning carries. Because now, once again, look what Duck did. They picked IO Shadow Shaman, which is traditionally 2 supports. Now your opponent is banning cores, but you've already got your +1 locked in. So it's a little bit of a mind game, like, because if this is not a +1 IO, I'm going to be very upset, by the way, because then I've been saying all this stuff for no reason. But 90% that's a +1 IO.
I'm just upset that you're calling it IO now.
Because you gave me crap about Nature's Prophet.
Because we want to go old and Wisp was anyways. Why not?
Shadow Shaman, really strong hero in the meta. I'm surprised none of these teams are running Puck. I know the hero took a bit of a nerf at the moment, but because of Witchblade, I think the hero is still extremely strong. He's a good earn carrier. He can go 5, he can go 4, he can go 3, and he can go 1. The Shadow Shaman pick is a pick to dismay people from picking Puck. The Hex is instant, so it's very good against Puck. So I'm pretty sure. Please don't ban another core. Ban a mid.
Well, they banned a potential mid in the DP. I guess Drow could also. Yikes! Yeah. So I think the thing is, even if DUC have the flexibility of running that IO as a non-core, I think at this point it's just too good to pass up. I mean, you can.
I think it's even better now as a core because they picked AA to counter it, but you don't really want to be healing anything now because you're linked to a Helm of Dom creep and you're just hitting people with balls and right clicks. So,
well, I was going to say as well, it's also just the fact that they're expecting something to come, and I think this is where the meta of this game really does shine, is that if you are RL right now, you are convinced that IO is not a 1 position IO. You're convinced about it. And you're now totally confused what's going on. You're not going to ban appropriately or pick appropriately against it. But LC has been picked up. It's an interesting one because that might have been somewhat also a block pick, because if they were expecting that IO to be a regular support, then LC one of the nice ones to go with them. But I kind of like LC as well with AA. It's one of those like things that just kind of works. So that doesn't suck. Also, a fair amount of damage just to commit into the into a fight that might be started with a
I'm
duel.
a big fan of LC. Like, you know, it's been a staple.
Am I lagging or are you lagging? Someone's lagging.
On our team.
Okay, so I think Naughty Hero is having a bit of lag there, so I'll just talk over him rudely whilst if that sorts out. But yeah, so unfortunately you'll get the play-by-play caster talking about the analytics and
For
the
the
start
last
of
2
this.
years.
For the last 2 years, I've let's go with that. Morphling banned or picked up by RL, and DUC will get to respond to that
But
in just
with
a
LC,
moment.
you want weak
10
like that.
seconds remaining.
Okay, I think I'm back.
Are you
Just
back?
can you get- I think I'm back.
Okay,
5 seconds
count to
remaining.
3.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, good, you're back. Fantastic.
Okay, bit of a spike there. What did you hear last?
It's something about 2 years, and I didn't actually get that.
Okay,
get the
so
rest of it.
LC is a good pick when you have easy combos with it. Like I said, you saw Sin 5 last year run it in the final with a Scarif mage, and they would just like duel into Scarif ultis. So it was easy to execute. Like LC Snapfire is pretty good. You have the AA Blast yet to combo with it, but Shaker LC together is a very weak lane. You've got 2 melee heroes against this IO carry.
And I think we've lost
10
Not a
seconds
Hero again.
remaining.
So,
I'm here. Can you hear me?
oh
Hello?
yeah. So you sound like you want to say
5
more.
seconds
Okay, now you've just got me
I
paranoid.
can say more. So IO pos 1 confirmed, by the way.
Mm.
So there's your Wyvern, there's your Shadow Shaman, you've got Slaughter, and that's the IO pos 1. They can't harass this IO. How will Legion Commander Shaker ever get onto this IO?
I mean, they do have the
Got-
Morphling Shaker combo, which is kind of cute though.
Yeah, I guess so.
Radiant
I'm
team
actually
down.
very curious to see how well they pull it off, because to me, that is the ultimate easier said than done thing in Dota 2.
Well, we saw, was it, what was 2019 Comic Con? Goliath Gaming?
Yeah,
With
Goliath beat Sin 5 in that final.
Depi on the Morphling Shaker combo.
They pretty much won off it. I mean, they were behind in that game, and then
And
just
then you got the eggs. Yeah.
blowing people up, just absolutely
Yeah.
So
that
it
was-
is a
Radiant
phenomenal
team pick.
combination. But I do honestly believe that is why don't we see it in every pubby, right? It's because it's not as easy to do as it looks when you see top players play it.
In the pro scene, Topson has done like a really cool thing. So they run their Morphling in the mid lane for OG, and then your Morphling is not the
10
pos 1.
seconds
And
remaining.
he literally goes Dragon Lance into Ags,
Mm.
and then he starts
5
making those
seconds
plays.
remaining.
So you're not
Dire
committing
team pick.
like your pos 1 to this Hail Mary play. You've got a mid laner putting pressure on the map, rotating, turning into people with stuns, kind of playing it like a Rubik on steroids type of story.
Mm.
And that's really cool. And people actually started banning Morphling against OG for that purpose. So this
seconds
might even be a
remaining.
mid morph. Morph against Zeus mid.
5
Morph can't really
seconds
do anything to
remaining.
Zeus, but Zeus also can't do anything to Morph unless he really makes a mistake. So
Because
this
you can
could
always
be a
just
mid
pick
morph.
how much HP you have.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
yeah.
I've decided I'll have enough to survive your combo, and
Click on Zeus's spells once. Check how much damage he's going to do to you. Oh, I don't
That
like
is
that. That's too
greedy.
greedy.
that is
Too
that
greedy.
is.
Because your Shaker needs a blink, so he needs somewhere to farm. Your Legion Commander needs a Blade Mail and a blink, he needs somewhere to farm. And now you've got Morphling and Arc Warden.
And you
It's
have
very
a
greedy.
really greedy 5 position there. Like
Look
A
at
also
the
wants.
Frog Shadow Shaman.
That's beautiful. Yeah, this is just. I agree. This is so greedy, and the opposite is true for DUC. Like they have so many heroes that can just do stuff without items. But I mean, Arc Warden, Morphling, and to a degree LC, which are your
The
calls.
Slaughter is a weird pick though, because the bulk of Dark's damage is magic, and now you've got a hero that reduces armor. So I guess you can always like amp the Winter Wyvern target if Wyvern gets a good ulti off, but I guess they just wanted some catch. And Tucky likes his axes and slaughters and stuff like that, so he probably asked for it and they gave it to him.
I must admit, I tend to agree with you. Maybe something mid that could have just offered a bit more of a punch would have been a better mid for DUC. But then again, we'll see how I kind of feel like it doesn't matter. If I'm perfectly honest,
So
I just think
we
this is
also need
too
to
greedy.
we also need to remember Crimson Tide is the official mid player at the moment, and Legend is the official 5 at the moment.
Mm.
But Legend has played a lot of mid in the past, so when Crimson can't play, they make this little switcheroo, and he goes to the mid lane. So he's probably keeping it on comfort because he's not as sharp on the mid heroes as he used to be. Put it that way.
Curious to see what happens with N, by the way. Obviously, he was having some technical difficulties in the first game, and once again, just finding himself onto that Winter Wyvern. But a bit of a challenging connection for him, it seems. So let's see how this one plays out.
I like
Hopefully,
this
good in
Winter
the last time.
Wyvern pick, and it's strange though because I think the hero has its place, but I don't think it's a hey, let's pick it every game type of hero.
It is, however, also great against the LC.
Yes, it is
So-
very good against the LC. You can just call them brace the target. You obviously do have the AA blast on top of it, but you've got your ulti to counter initiate as well.
I'm trying to remember the degree of. Because I think, sorry, I was just thinking there's almost like a hierarchy when it comes to skills that interrupt each other, etc. So, for example, like call versus duel, like the duel's going to continue if you duel the Legion Commander. Sorry, if you call the
Yeah.
Legion Commander during a duel, the duel will continue. And I think that's the same for Winter's Curse, where the duel will continue, because I think duel's pretty much like the highest one up there. But
The duel
regardless.
will continue, but the Legion can't hit you. Like that's the. I guess you can get
Oh,
moment
no,
of
no,
courage
so we're talking
shots,
about the
but-
curse, not the Cold Embrace, because obviously Cold Embrace will solve all those problems.
Yeah.
But yes, I get. Oh, so I see
Duck's
what you're
invading
saying.
again.
So,
He's got the bonus movement speed from the tether.
yeah, and they do connect onto that Arc Warden, which is really not going to help their
Where's the
pushes, and
Shaker?
just being slowed down by that Arctic burn as well. So Smartstick probably brought down a valiant attempt at a Duke, but yeah, that's once again DUC find their way onto the board very early on.
That's a little bit of poor communication as well, because the moment the Ark saw them, he should have come for the Shaker to come and help him, because he could have stopped that shackle from happening.
Mm.
Like the Legion could have secured the rune, Shaker could have stunned, and the Ark would have actually gotten out of it.
They did get 2 bounty runes this time, so technically an improvement from the way the last game started. Last time they lost First Blood and lost 2 bounty runes, but of course, Smartstick won't be happy regardless. I don't know what he used to eat that. Did he use a tango? Because it's on cooldown, but he did eat a tree, so I'm slightly confused. I'm very confused. Anyways, actually off to a decent start against Legion, putting some real pressure on him early on, and as you mentioned, although you might have wanted that morph mid, potentially you had no choice in this case to go top lane. Bottom lane though, another kill goes with Earthshaker. There's a tri lane there, and that's actually that's a rough one. I mean, you made a comment during the previous game that Winter Wyvern not great.
Melee heroes.
Yeah, Winter
Yeah.
Wyvern may not be great in the laning phase, but when you have a Shadow Shaman next to you, that you feel
Yeah,
like
he'll probably rotate out now. I think he just stayed here for the first blood. You're
Yeah.
gonna see him probably go back to base and then TP top or run straight top.
I think you definitely also want to move somebody out there, because LC back in the days of tri-lanes was the tri-lane destroyer, and you have a backup cover stun for it, so he could literally just max overwhelming odds and just
Oh, but
lay the
moment
hurt
of
top
courage
lane.
was
Tucky actually might
completely
be a little
broken.
chop here. Tucky? Tucky, I think that is very surprising. So, Tucky stayed inside the cold feet. I'm sure just I'm actually totally confused about why. But
Misclick?
maybe something like that. But Supermax was not interested at all in being part of that fight, and accordingly missed out on a lot of damage. So it's a little bit lucky, and particularly with the way that Tucky played in the last game. I think
So
that
we also missing a ward on the map from the Dire side. I don't know if it was dewarded. I don't know if it's still in stock, but they've got a ward in the mid lane, and then they've got a ward nowhere else. So I don't see any sentries by Duck. So the Shaker needs to be getting a ward on the side here, and needs to be stopping these pulls from the Wyvern, and he needs to be trying to put some pressure. He can't put pressure when he's got Arctic Burn. It's a 50-second CD though, but after that, now when this Arctic Burn is down, this Wyvern needs to be punished. Like, he also didn't go boots on Shaker. So, like, you'll see a lot of Shakers go boots first for the purpose of when you're up against the ranged hero, that you can actually just run at him and hit him. Every time he turns around, you've got more movement speed than he does, and you can actually trade effectively. but he went region for the lane, and they up against 2 ranged heroes. It's going to be hard.
Hmm.
So I'm going to look at the last hits here quickly. Zeus and Io top, then Awkward and Morphling, not trailing but not too much. This Morphling's got 7 denies, so that's actually good. It means the Slaughter, he's only got 7 last hits, but he's getting denied quite hard. He is a level above them though in XP, which is surprising.
Yeah, Rance is doing a good
little
job
pull.
just putting the side camp
Yeah.
here and making life a little bit more challenging. I actually think that the pulls were pretty good here. Oh, this is going to play out very interestingly. Taki does want to piece this. We'll get into the stun as well. Going to connect on top of Ekvach.
Oh, he got Seder stunned!
And I think that'll be enough. And they will pick up that first one. I think Supermax will be fine though. He's going to get back off. But
Duck
very
is
excited
feeling
about that.
themselves, eh? They are playing so aggressively. I'm just browsing through items here. I do not like that the Pos 5 AA went Null Talisman first. Like, it doesn't provide you anything in the lane. It gives you a little bit of extra spell amp, which is 3%, but on a chilling touch, it's an extra 9 damage. That 9 damage is not going to secure the lane. Like, they need regen, they need some survivability.
right, bottom lane, they probably pick up the Earthshake here. Maybe? No. He's going to just make his way under tower and be safe in the end. You know, sorry to break
lane?
sorry to break the chain of thought, but this is once again going to be an interesting duel here as they do connect onto this Morphling as well with that Shackle. But Supermax still alive, going to survive a little bit longer. Taki will be able to back off, but a lot of the damage done. Took a lot of pounds there from Taki. Got double hit by that stun, bash the deep connecting twice. And obviously all the damage was there, but fortunately enough was able to get some healing out first. Does have 8 magic charges, so going maximum into Agi will mean he'll be able to heal up quite nicely, but didn't actually commit the magic charges. I'm surprised by that.
So one thing that I am looking at this game from a bigger perspective is Duck's lineup doesn't push very well, apart from the Shadow Shaman snakes. And you have an Arc Warden that can defend your towers with a bubble. So, like, if he places the bubbles nicely and the Shadow Shaman snakes are like not right on top of the towers, they can drag this game out. And I think if this goes really late, we've got a Morphling Arc Warden, they have a good chance in being competitive or even taking this game.
Well, something I was just thinking about, and this is kind of scary, is consider the fact that every single hero on the side of RL has been played as a mid in professional Dota.
Not all successfully, but yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's definitely been some winning AAs. That's probably the worst of them. Supermax going to trade off shots here with Rance, the ranged tree. But that is greed, and that's the problem. I think if you play a game, you think, well, in a pinch, I could send any of my heroes mid. You know, I think there's a...
So the problem for RL at the moment is the spot lane. Winter Wyvern is not a strong laner. IO is annoying, but he's also not going to push you off the creep. And this Wyvern is literally... He doesn't have Arctic Burn now for 40 seconds, and he's not being touched. Like, literally, Duck is... Every time he's got Arctic Burn, they're playing aggressively. Oh, what's happening mid? Oh no, that's just illusions. But yeah, every time he has Arctic Burn, they're playing aggressively. When he doesn't have Arctic Burn, they are casually sitting back and farming. So, Helm of Dominator up on the IO already. 6.5 minutes
Yeah,
Helm of Dominator.
that's a lot. Look at the damage as well, and
Yeah,
they
this
get
is
the support
the Shaker's
from
dead.
those as well.
The Shaker's dead.
Well, I mean, you say this, but
He's gonna run him down.
probably
He's gonna
will
run him-
die. There you go. Even
This movement
silent, though.
speed-
They're just running him down on the tower. I think they potentially can here. Maybe 1 or 2 more hits required, but it's almost there. The will connect as well with the Wyvern. So in the end, Splinter Blast going to pick up the damage and the kill. But they made that look so easy. And what I loved about this, that felt like a tri-global all over again. And if you're old enough to know that, I salute you. But you just saw the damage coming from the Zeus at the right time. But they get kills across the map. We just watched that. But multiple heroes dying all over the show. And of course, 7-0 in 7 minutes. Oh man, it is.
They can't lane bottom anymore. Like, you can't hit this. IO's got a 6.5 minute Helm of Dom. Like, that creeper's got 450 movement speed, and they've got an additional stun now because he's got the troll. So he can net. And if he really wants to make a cutesy play, he can summon some skeletons as well. I don't think this melee lane is going to survive this IO lane now anymore. And that's what I was talking about. Like, this Wyvern has been putting pressure on the lane when he's probably one of the weakest laners in the game. Just getting away with way too much.
It feels kind of doomed in this bomb lane, I'm not going to lie. And what I'm worried about as well is I don't think we're going to see much in the form of rotations because it's not something we saw in the last one. You can see Rant.
So once again, like they've got the cold feet stun combo.
Oh, well, and they got the Hex Knight, and they're going to commit to the AA in the top lane. Does get bailed out for a moment by Supermax, but it won't be enough. And they find another easy kill. 8-0. They're just trying to keep that kill minute up at the moment. That's what it feels like. In bottom lane, I think you'll see another kill coming any moment here because they have Scout outside. They'll open up with the Splinter Blast. And they do have the support by Olaf. A nice stun is going to buy them a little bit of time, but they're ranged. And they're going to run down the first. They might just run down the second as well because he has no boots, as mentioned before. Slowed down, beaten up, and they're going to pick up another scalp there.
Yeah.
End
Shaker
doesn't
must not go
mind.
back bottom.
We'll take both.
The Shaker needs to go top. Like, he cannot go bottom. Legion needs to sack this lane, he needs to go hit some creeps in the jungle, and the Shaker needs to start setting up some kills with the AA.
Top lane, the action is not over. Look at the damage onto the Morphing.
Wrong way.
He was able to survive it for the time being, but the Zeus ulti going to help out. He's stand up again. Supermax, very, very low, but should be able to waveform out of this, and is. But AA is not yet out of harm's way. They're going to bring in the Earthshaker now, so they do force that rotation.
Yeah.
But there's 3 top here, not a hero, so it's not over. And he walks straight into the Hex as well. They don't have the mana for the Shackle just yet, but they don't care. They'll run him down just fine regardless. And the support is there. They finally find the way onto the board, but they do find the Earthshaker regardless. And now they're going to potentially push the issue on the tower. They use the ulti from the Wyvern, and that's going to set up the Morphling as well. And they do once more turn their attention to it. Tucky decides, you know what, hey, enough of this. You get to keep him alive. But if no, cancel that TP, please. No, Smart Sticks comes in with the oh, it's just illusion. Okay, never mind. I apologize.
That's your
Less
plus 5
drama.
Wyvern level 6 at 9 minutes into the game. That's not fun. This Arc Elias is standing top. He's not doing. Oh no.
We have some cash, I guess.
No, it expired at least before, right before. But I guess he was just saying, okay, it's going to expire soon. He left the micro.
12 to 1 though.
Not yet.
Not yet. No, he's actually a fair amount off as well. So he needs it real bad. At the moment, if you look at the net worth as well, 5k on that Zeus. One of the heroes is actually probably better at
The
dealing
Shaker
with
must
something
go
like
top
Marvel.
again. Like he's running back bottom. Like he's not going to do anything in the spot lane with the Legion. There's no kill threat from these 2 heroes. He needs to stop applying pressure with the top lane. The only kill combo is they feed the tome to the AA right now. They haven't purchased it yet. I hope. No, they haven't purchased it at all yet. So AA needs to buy the tome right now, and then you do a cold feet stun combo with the Shaker.
Top lane,
they can
once
kill
again, they're
anything on the map.
re-engaged here. They get the Hex off into Supermax, but hard target to bring down. So immediately change their attention to what is an easy kill here. And Supermax just wants to TP out. Will he be able to? No, he gets shackled up on the sideline. And now he's in a lot of trouble. Doesn't have the mana for waveforms. He has to just try to run this out. 10 magic 1 charges though. So it does have something to play with, but doesn't matter. The ulti comes in from the Zeus. He says, listen guys, I'll take a piece of this. He might find a little bit more action as well because he's being hunted down by that Earthshaker, but there's just not enough threat available. Top lane, they're going to find yet another kill onto that Legion commander. So it's all falling apart. 15-1 in 11 minutes.
They need to do some changes here. The Shaker needs to start putting pressure on the map. And what also something I don't like at all is he doesn't have boots, halberd. He's going straight blink dagger.
The problem is that,
Nothing.
let's say he gets that
Nothing.
20 minutes, which is almost his trajectory at the moment. Maybe he's got a little bit more space and get it faster, but that means 20 minutes. Last time the game ended in 24.
A lot of people don't remember is extra movement speed scales into quicker farm because you can move from camps to camp faster. So I think you had this discussion a few years back, and I was actually watching it like attentively. You were talking about Midas, and where people don't understand is that it's not about the extra gold and stuff like that. It allows you to clear the big creep in the camp extremely fast and then move on to the next one.
Yeah.
And like he doesn't have boots, and he's not getting any farm. He needs to be ramming with his AA. They need to just start doing some smoke plays. Maybe get a duel on this Legion commander.
They're going to get a big one. They pick up the mid as well.
Delaying the Midas timing. Oh, he's actually got the Midas and he died. That's rough. The Midas was on the courier.
Almost worst case scenario, but they do rotate this Earthshaker. And look, just to double up on what you were saying, you're almost seeing what I would just call like the lost support shuffle, and that's what's happening here. Is that and it's almost you could create a religion around how frequently this happens. Actually, in fact, someone's going to write a thesis one day on the lost support shuffle. This, what you're seeing now, is a support that doesn't know where he needs to be on the map. And I'm sorry to single out Olaf like this because there's a lot of greater issues here, but you can see that there's just not much happening right now. He came in, stunned mid, used up some mana, but
where he
didn't
wants to
value from
go.
it.
He's standing right next to a creep camp. He's not farming it. He's trying to get to a blink dagger. Like, he's not doing anything on the map.
Well, remember, at
Like,
10
if he's-
minutes, we were talking about his net worth, and it hasn't moved.
Yeah.
So when I
Like,
said 20
if
minutes of
you're
blink, probably...
committing to this blink dagger, he needs to be hitting creeps. Like,
Yeah.
that's what he needs to do. But I also don't think anyone has bought the
Top
tome
lane,
on
he
their
has
side.
found
They
some
need to
action
buff
here
it.
on Tucky, as
doesn't
he's
have boots.
very, very aggressive here, but does get controlled, and he desperately needs this to not go wrong, and he'll be fortunate enough for that not to be the case. Over aggression from the starter, but he does have a bit of a sting in the tail here, as we do have Ranson and they're surrounding Io right now. Muffin Man, we haven't spoken about him for a while, but he's because of Maelstrom. He's going to do some
They
damage. shortly.
also haven't. I'm not sure if the Shaker took it, but they also haven't purchased the tome on the Dire side. And this
Well,
AA needs 6.
Look at the damage coming out here. Muffin Man's going to track down
Io.
Silent as well. Does have a little bit of
gonna miss him.
advantage with the high ground, but doesn't matter. Legend makes no mistake, gives the vision that they require, hits the chain lightning, and then gets the double kill. 19-2. Oof.
This IO is going to have a 15, 16 minute eggs. And then the game gets even more rough. So now, like another small thing. So this Shaker just skilled ulti. Okay, he doesn't have boots, doesn't have a blink dagger. He's not landing an Echo Slam. Like he might land a solo Echo Slam, like when they kill the starter top, but he's not going to land an Echo Slam. So why are you skilling that spell? Put more levels. So also as a pos 4 Shaker, you want to put more levels into the fissure because the damage ramps up and your team is lacking damage.
Oh, hold on.
He's been
Tucky here
maxing off the shot.
might be a gift, and I think he's going to be just that, but he gets support coming in. Actually, they might not finish this kill, and this could backfire. They are pressing this fight here. Rance, in a little bit of trouble, tries to get the high ground. So he's going to be left to the cold embrace to keep him alive, but he will most likely fall as End needs to get up this high
Ivan as
ground.
well.
But Tucky is there, and they're going to commit with the ult. He does get the stun regardless. Tucky patiently
Nice
waits.
chain.
Now does connect onto the Earthshaker, and will probably find the kill into the AA if they want it, and will.
So Taki is committed for general. He's currently playing for he's not playing for Navi. He's playing for the old VP squad.
Sorry.
So general is
max into mid. They want to fight against Legend. Going to try and survive this, but in the end, he takes a lot of damage there, and they do bring Tucky
numbers.
straight back in. Does manage to find his way out though, thanks to that strength gain.
the Slaughter is extremely scary. Like I said, he went general's build. General lacks this Mask of Madness on the Slaughter. So you literally just blink in, stun someone, ulti them, and then just pop your Mask of Madness. And he just bought his Blink Dagger as well. He can kill any hero on the map right now. Any hero. Like if he blinks to stun someone with that Mask of Madness, they will die. Maybe not Morphling if he gets a small fourth, but almost every hero.
Io is so rich. I have the what's on the courier?
Probably
That
right.
is, ladies and gentlemen, my scientific opinion about what is about to happen is that is in fact a yikes. Muffin Man has just completed his ags, and this game is
And the thing is that like most IOs go Helmdom into Ags. He went Helmdom into Maelstrom into Ags.
well, the fight breaks out. Tucky in trouble here. They're going to combo him with the A ulti. That should be enough to finish the job. But he does at least get the stun off, which will buy in a little bit of time. Fisher on the wrong side, but of course,
The Shaker still have boots!
if he gets the ulti off, just a little bit late. They didn't quite have the vision he needed, but in comes the support. There's that Muffin Man Io, and they're going to just run down the AA like he was a creep. In the back lines, they have in fact caught out Silence as well, and they will probably get a little bit more here. They do manage to delay that movement from the morphing with the chain or through the top bolt, but now Supermax, they're going to be able to just run him down. Once more, Muffin Man just sticks to him, does not care. Do you care about tier 3s? Do you care about Earthshakers in the backline? Well, you might do just right now, because you're going to find yet another kill onto that Earthshaker if you really wanted. Well, having to turn his attention to Smart Sticks,
Killing the
because
Arc.
he is in fact trying to
he's
bring
dead.
down this IO, but the support
ALT.
finally comes in from the AA. So they do manage to finish the job, but Legend survives and moves back. But you can see just this is not a 5-on-5 fight. That was a 2-on-7 fight. People respawned into that battle, and not a huge commitment. I mean, what did you lose? The A and the IO, sure, like the IO is a big one, but resources across the map weren't heavily expended.
No, they can literally just reset and go again. Like, We also haven't seen Aya use any reload plays. With Slardar having Blink now, the Slardar can kill this Legion easy. He's waiting for someone to show.
They see Rance, so Rance is in trouble here, and they're going to turn Supermax into his own form of that Shadow Shaman.
Good
Gonna
ALT.
try to heck, but in comes Saki, tries to bail out his buddy, but the LT does come down, and it's not going to be successful thanks to the Cold Embrace, but they are able to bring down Rance. Now they can turn this one around. Look at the damage coming out of that Slaughter. They do manage to back off though, but on the back lines, the LT comes down. Muffin Man there as well, turns attention to Smart Tricks as well. Should be able to finish with the A4P now, trying to move onto the back line here. They're going to bring down yet another 4 for just 1, and Smart Tricks don't stick around there because although that Wisp IO does have to back off, there's enough there to finish the job regardless. 4 for 1.
I don't know. This is rough. So if you find yourself in games like this where your back is against the wall, you need to evaluate what you need to get yourself back in the game. And like there's small things. So AA is going Yules. Like he's not gonna get that as a pos 5 AA. Like he should have started buying components for like maybe a Glimmer Cape or something. I know he's playing against a Slardar, so if that's the case, then get a 4-staff. If someone gets crashed, you can 4-staff them out. You can save yourself as well. You need to evaluate what your team needs to win this game. And like AA needs like a 4-staff. The Shaker needs boots. Like he's still trying to get his Blink Dagger. He needs boots. It's as simple as that. Like on Shakers at the moment, you want Blink Dagger, Shard, and boots on 20 minutes. Because the moment the timer hits 20 and Shard becomes available, you want to be buying it. The Zeus doesn't give a crap, he's just running at them.
IO doesn't have reload up, so that means the Smartest will survive this one. Legend, look at the aggression. I don't care, this is my space now, and why not? I'm level 15, Morphing's only level 9, I'm not scared of him just yet. And I'm going to start trying to does not connect with the top bolt, but still just running forward. And look, there's nothing they can do here. They lose the A on the other side of the map. But, okay, Muffin Man, this is just cruel. Silent tries to TP out. Does he survive? No, he does not. Gets caught by the chain lightning as well. And the speed with
creep as well.
That's not fair. Smart 6.
So normal Helm Dom creeps is 450 movement speed, but because of the aura on the Cobalt Foreman, he's got extra movement speed. He's running at 527. That's ridiculous.
That's that's a bit of a scary opposition right now to deal with for RL. But the one thing I did want to point, the one thing is really working magic is the magnetic field. Magnetic field right now is doing so much work. There's so much damage left on the table because they have to reposition.
Dead. AA blasted him.
Something. I mean, at 32 to 9 at 20 minutes, at least you can say this has been an action-packed game with Dota, and there are kills going both ways. This is actually, I think, going to be a longer and better performance from RL, which I don't mean to be disrespectful to them because obviously they're still getting a bit of a hiding here, but. They have
like,
teeth, right? They feel like they can get kills.
In this game and any games going forward, they just need to be more proactive with their supports. Like, they play us too stagnant. They kind of just like... Shaker still doesn't have boots. I'm gonna keep saying it. Like, the moment he buys boots, I'm going to have a
Shaker doesn't have items. Honestly, he doesn't have a single stat. But he doesn't have a stat yet. I mean, it's actually
doesn't have an Ironwood branch. Nothing. Like, not a single thing.
Considering the fact that, sure, he could regen some mana, like, there's nothing combative that he's built. And you can't... Like, I would be happy seeing 3 Ironwood branches in his backpack right now. But you are a naked hero. Like, you cannot play Dota like this.
Legion's dead. This IO just gonna run him down. And Legend stealing the kill there. Like come on. But that's all Zeus players, eh? Zeus players tend to, like, okay, I've got ulti. I'm not going to use it at the start of the fight. I'm going to wait until someone's on 50 HP and then press
the law, not a hero.
No, that's a horrible law.
But it is the law. And when do you see a Zeus charging up a high ground to face check the high ground to finish off kills?
That's a law made by some corrupt government. Like, no.
Do you realize these players are trolling each other at the moment? We just had Legend try to keep away and end Cold Embraced him. That's the state of the affairs right now, and I think End enjoyed his time on DUC after. I mean, I feel like Legend probably rules this team with an iron fist. He's been around for so long.
Like, we have both met Legend, and he's a pretty chilled guy. I don't see him being a dictator at all. He's a pretty fun and mellow person. Like last year at the championship, they didn't even play, and he came to say hello to everyone. So, oh my goodness, that Legion Commander just melted. There was a Legion
Io has a
Commander.
full Sunjin Yash up as well now.
Yeah, that's
22
standard
minutes
role
in,
for the
and he's
K.
got 15k net worth, and they're trying to fight back with a 5k morphling. It is
Well, he's got Crystallis on the courier.
okay.
Like his data list is about, yeah. Like you can't have 700 GPM on an IO in a 22-minute game. Like the hero does not. I guess the Maelstrom helps, but it doesn't form irrelevantly fast. Don't let your Cobalt die.
This is unacceptable behavior. Muffin Man will.
Like we all know, Cobalt is like the best creep in the game because he has a wine cup. No other neutral creep drinks, so it's a creep we can all relate to. Look at the Stardust damage with the link, eh?
I mean,
Mask of Madness with IO overload. Like let's go. Overcharge. Sorry.
you know, I just
overload.
noticed, which is making me kind of sad, is that Cobalt's cup is empty.
Yeah, he's a thirsty boy.
If he's thirsty, he's going to remain thirsty because there's nothing in that cup.
Like I don't understand the thought process from RL here. Like props to them for playing this game. It's 23 minutes. They're still trying to fight, but like how can no one on this team like click on like the Shaker's items for instance and tell him like, hey dude, get boots.
The problem is this, he's also buying wards. So, I mean, he's got sentries then. He's going to die. He's going to be killed by his own buddy. And it doesn't get off. Yeah, this is not competitive anymore, to be frank. And
Shadow
this Earthshaker
Shaman is
is not-
shard as well. Like it's one of the strongest shards in the game because he can link a creep now and have an extra 4 Shadow Shaman wards.
Okay, but once again, this Earthshaker has just bought back without a hope in the world of connecting with that LT. There isn't a hope in the world.
But
He's,
it links up with
sorry,
this-
he's going to buy items. Sorry, I just want to say it. Like, he's going to buy items, and why is that relevant? Because you could have those boots at 10 minutes, and now you're buying them
and
now
then
because
had
you
an
realize you have no
impact,
choice.
yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
just, I mean, the
100%.
game's over, and that's why you're buying it, because you're not going to get to that point.
It's
Yeah.
just, yeah, it's. I guess it's a little bit of inexperience. I guess, like he thought he needed the blink dagger, and like even with boots and blink dagger on all that stuff on Shaker you don't go max totem.
Oh,
max
backline Taki goes back in, and everyone's just been blown up here. They're going to find yet another one, and even N blinks forward. Such extreme aggression. Muffin Man wants a little bit more. Is going to try push this Earthshaker back. This is where you live now, and I might live here too. Go take up residency in the fountain as
GG
they
call.
finish off the game, making it look a little easier if we're honest.
Yeah, that was rough. Like,
Did you see
yeah.
the damage from the Zeus? Was it just the Zeus ulti and a Slardar blinking in?
So the thing is, what people forget is Zeus's passive works in an area, and if he stands right next to you and casts Nimbus, ulti, Bolt, and his Q, you will lose more than half of your HP. But Zeus's don't usually stand right next to you, but he could afford to do that this game.
Yeah. Well, good game to DUC. Deserved wins, and RL obviously not the game they would have wanted to have today, but a spare a thought for them because DUC are in